Hello, I'm Mac Original and welcome to the next Stormworks update video. Today we will take a look at the new modular engines that are now part of the regular game and not any longer experimental feature. And I also got some new handheld weapon leak for you guys, so let's dive into it. As it is sadly tradition with Stormworks updates, the modular engines got moved from the experimental to the stable branch way too early. A lot of people reporting major issues. As example, the cooling seems to have no effect on the engine at all. Part of the problem is that they always, when they move something from experimental to stable, they put some last minute changes in that don't get tested on the testing branch, and that's where the issues start. There are actual changes now in the 1.1.2 version that are not in the experimental version yet. Looking at the project management, it is a mess. So please devs, in the future, before you move stuff into the stable branch, let people test it, and only and really only if the feature is how you want it, then move it to the stable branch. Let's quickly build the modular engines so you can see how they work. A downside is when you type in modular for modular engine in the search here, you don't get all parts, only the bare parts. Let's grab a crankshaft. Let's go for 4 there. Now we need a cylinder. Put like 4 on each side. Perfect. Then we can get rid of our little helper base. Then add the modular engine drive board. And as you can see, all these main parts exist in 1x1, 3x3 and 5x5, so you can build huge ship engines. Now we need the starter. And alternator. An alternator is basically like a generator. And now we need a pump. Let's place it actually below. Now we need another helping base in the front where we can put the radiator on. Good, we can already connect the out with the radiator. Now we need a cooling manifold, and that goes to here. So the cooling is sorted out, but these cylinders share all coolant and whatever is connected, but these are not connected to these yet. So this side is cooled, this side is not. To change that, we use these manifold corners. And one straight piece. So now these all are connected as one, so the cooling works for them all. Next we add the exhaust. That's pretty easy. Put it on one of the cylinder and put the exhaust on. Next we need to sort out fuel and air. Let's start with air. to put that there, nice and compact. Also goes to the cylinder, and because they're all connected, it shares it all. We put the air filter, we can also use air ram, it doesn't matter. I kinda like the look of these. And now the fuel. That can simply go here. Now we need a tank. And done. And to test it we need a push button and the lever. Oh, and also a battery. Now we hook that all up. Push button goes to the starter. So now it's getting a bit more tricky. We have the throttle set up for the fuel, and we have a throttle input for the air. And it needs to have less fuel than air to run efficiently. So to sort that out, we will grab a function block with one input. Then we set that to x half. So the lever goes into the function block, and the function block goes to the fuel throttle, which is up here. And the air throttle goes directly to the lever. Now we need to sort two other things out. There's a clutch pressure on the fuel pump, and there's a clutch pressure on the alternator. So we have some control of how much they are running. But we want them to run all the time, so we need to set them to 1. Simply grab a constant number, set it to 1, and connect that to the alternator and to the fluid pump. And we also want to have the fan on, so it's actually cooling. For that we grab a constant on signal. Just connect that, and that is done. And that should be it. Let's test it. Let's set the lever to like 0.1 something and start the engine. And we can see the engine is running. But it doesn't run really well. We have not much control over it like that. If you want me to show you how to build a microcontroller using a PID, so you can idle your engine and the RPS is more stable, just let me know in the comments and give the video a like. But basically, that's it. We have a working modular engine. Now let's get to the weapon leaks. Do you guys remember? The dev said at some point there will be no handheld weapons. But files that can be found in the latest update might tell you a different story. As we can see here, we have C4, pistol, grenade, and from my previous video also more hints towards a spear gun, or a harpoon as it's usually called. So we will probably be able to play Counter-Strike in Stormworks? I don't know. We will see when the DLC arrives. And that was it for today's video. I hope you found the information to be useful, and if you have any questions or comments, just leave it in the comments. Also, if you liked the video, please give it a like, subscribe and ring the bell. And tell your friends. Keep the boat afloat. Until then, I see you next time. Bye bye.